Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're really getting into something quite extraordinary. We've got this set of source materials, specifically a report that was supposedly put together by a federal space agency for Prime Minister Putin.
It's quite something.
Right. And our mission today is to unpack the, let's call them wild claims and some surprising connections in this document. It says it's revealing critical info, stuff that's often just, pushed aside.
Information that could really change how we view things.
Exactly. And we're jumping straight into the deep end, the most dramatic claim right off the bat, a supposed alien attack.
Yeah.
A devastating one.
It's definitely an attention grabber. The report alleges this happened in Fort Worth, Texas, and it's very specific about the location.
Oh, yeah. Where exactly?
It points to the National Aeronautics and Space Administration's Aviation Systems Division, NASA's facility there. Apparently, it's on a remote part of the huge Dallas-Fort Worth International Airport.
Okay, so not just anywhere. What do they do there?
This is critical. They engineer the software that controls North American airspace.
Whoa. Okay, so we're talking major infrastructure. And the report claims this place was attacked.
Sustained assault, it says, for nearly half an hour. And the reported outcome: catastrophic. Over 500 U.S. military and space contractors killed.
500. That's staggering. But the report doesn't just say it was, I don't know, a terrestrial attack.
No, this is where it really pivots. It claims it was, and I'm quoting here, alien forces intent on destroying Vimana technology, that it's supposedly just been moved there.
Vimana technology. Okay, hold on. What is that? Sounds familiar, but...
Right, so for anyone listening who isn't familiar, Vimanas are these mythological flying machines described in ancient Sanskrit epics from India.
Ancient flying machines, like thousands of years old.
Exactly. The report brings this ancient lore right into the present, claiming U.S. troops actually found this technology in Afghanistan. It says these machines existed before a last overturning of our Earth, whatever that means, and had weapons, disturbingly similar to modern atomic bombs.
So troops find ancient superweapons in Afghanistan, bring them to Texas, and aliens attack to destroy them. That's quite the narrative.
It certainly is. And it raises immediate questions. How does a modern intelligence report for head of state incorporate mythology like this?
Good point. And the aftermath. If 500 people died in an alien attack at a NASA facility, how was that kept quiet?
Well, according to the report, the whole thing was videotaped.
Videotaped the alien attack.
Yes. But then, it alleges, America's propaganda media, their words, quickly spun it. Explained it away as transformer explosions caused by lightning.
Transformer explosions. But the report says the video showed something else.
Precisely. It emphasizes that the video supposedly showed no such explosions, and crucially, there were no explosive sounds recorded at all. The report uses this discrepancy to argue there was a deliberate cover-up, a mischaracterization of a major event.
So the official story versus what the tape allegedly showed, completely different. Okay, if aliens were trying to destroy this Amana tech, why did the U.S. have it at Fort Worth? What were they planning to do with it?
Well, the report offers another layer, an even more, perhaps, astonishing claim. It states the goal was to integrate this ancient Vimana technology into one of America's most secret aircraft.
Which one?
The report names it the Black Triangle.
The Black Triangle. Okay, that's a term you hear a lot in UFO circles. These huge, silent, triangular craft.
Exactly. Often theorized as, top secret military projects, maybe reverse engineered tech themselves. The report actually claims these U.S. Black Triangles were reverse engineered from alien technology and had been based at that Fort Worth facility since the late 1980s.
So they wanted to merge ancient mythological tech with potentially reverse-engineered alien tech. This report connects a lot of dots, whether you believe them or not.
It does, and it tries to ground it in something recent, too. It points to an alleged sighting, saying one of these American Black Triangle UFOs was supposedly caught on video just last August.
Really? Where?
By a game camera near the Dallas-Fort Worth airport, set up by someone named Lisa Brock-Pekarsky. The report claims it hovered silently for over 2 hours in the night sky.
So they're using that alleged sighting to bolster the claim about these secret aircraft being real and present at the location.
Right. It attempts to build this bridge, you see, from ancient myths to the alleged Vimana discovery to these modern secret aircraft programs, all converging at Fort Worth. A continuous hidden history, essentially.
It's a tangled web. And the report suggests the U.S. knows the danger involved here, dealing with this kind of tech, these alleged alien forces.
It seems to imply that. It says even though the Americans are supposedly aware of the, well, profound dangers, they seem determined to align themselves with a specific faction of these alien gods, as the report calls them.
Align with alien gods, and this worries Russia.
That's the angle the report presents. It notes that many in Russia supposedly believe this American approach, this alignment, could endanger all human life on the planet. Quite a stark geopolitical claim in an already strange context.
Wow, okay. Does the report suggest Russia is somehow exempt from all this strangeness, or are they seeing things too?
Oh no, it suggests Russia's experiencing its own share of high strangeness. It mentions something it calls a ripping space-time vortex over a Russian city that apparently shocked scientists.
A space-time vortex, what does that even mean?
The report doesn't really elaborate scientifically. It just presents it as another example of undeniable alien, or at least highly anomalous, activity. Sort of a, see, it's happening everywhere point, reinforcing the idea that these incidents are increasing.
Okay, and it gets worse.
According to this document, yes. It claims a new NASA video appears to show that the massive UFO armada, again, their words that's supposedly heading towards Earth behind Comet Elenin, well, it's much larger than previously thought.
An armada behind Elenin. I remember hearing about Elenin, but an armada. That paints a picture of an imminent, large-scale arrival or threat.
Exactly. A growing, undeniable threat, as the report frames it.
So, escalating alien activity, potential conflicts between alien factions, maybe a secret U.S. alignment, a giant UFO fleet on its way. What does the report say about telling the public any of this?
It's quite cynical on that point. It claims there seems to be little chance of the American people, or really any Westerners, being told what it calls the true and grim situation relating to these returning ancient gods.
Returning ancient gods. So it's tying the potential alien presence back to ancient mythology again.
Yes, it weaves that theme throughout. And this is where it brings in prophecies to bolster its case. It mentions Sorka Fall, apparently. She wrote a work years ago called Battle Begins for Throne of This World, talking about the return of the Ahurjar warriors.
Sorka Fall. I'm not familiar.
The report doesn't give much background, just cites her work as a significant modern prophecy. And it also invokes Nostradamus.
Of course. Which prediction?
Specifically Quatrain 6.21. It pulls lines like, when those of the Arctic Pole are united together, great terror and fear in the east. And something about the next overturning of our world being close.
The Arctic Pole united? How does the report link that to now?
Directly. It points to the past week's signing of a new Arctic agreement involving Russia, the U.S., and other Arctic nations. The report heavily implies that this cooperation might be the unity Nostradamus warned about, suggesting his predicted time of upheaval could be very near.
And it throws WikiLeaks into the mix, too.
Yes, it cites WikiLeaks cables that allegedly show fears of an Arctic resource rivalry, potentially leading to military conflict between NATO and Russia. So you have this convergence, alleged alien threats, ancient prophecies, modern geopolitical tensions, all pointing towards, well, some kind of major global crisis.
It's an incredibly complex and frankly alarming picture the report paints. How does it claim different countries are reacting? You mentioned Russia's concerns.
Right. The report draws a very sharp contrast. It argues that while people in the West, especially Americans, will likely discount all this information, the same isn't true for those knowing the truth of these things in Russia.
Knowing the truth, implying the Russian leadership believes this stuff.
That's the implication. The report claims the Russian leadership, supposedly having access to similar secret intelligence, are taking concrete steps. Specifically, building massive underground bunkers.
Bunkers, like Doomsday bunkers.
Exactly, to protect themselves from what is to come. And it doesn't just state this, it actually cites a specific news article to back it up, a piece from Bloomberg News Service.
What did the Bloomberg article say?
The report quotes it. Rich Russians buy bunkers on apocalypse terrorism.
Yeah.
It talks about survival bunkers costing as much as $400,000 each.
$400,000 for a bunker. Wow.
Yeah. The article, as quoted, mentions a builder, Andre, who started off making panic rooms because of terrorism fears, but now he's selling these high-end survival bunkers, apparently capitalizing on doomsday anxiety. He's quoted saying something like, even though he doesn't believe it himself, hearing clients talk about the end of the world gets him thinking.
So a tangible response, whether driven by belief in prophecies, alien armadas, or just general global instability, people with money are preparing for something big.
A very concrete preparation, yes.
And how does the report contrast this with the U.S.?
It's pretty scathing, actually.
Yeah.
It basically accuses Americans of apathy. It says, and this is a direct quote from the report itself, thinking, however, appears to be lacking among the once proud American people who once lived by the motto, To be forewarned is to be forearmed, but whose new credo seems to be, who cares?
Wow, that's harsh. So the report itself is making a judgment about national character.
It seems so. A very critical take presented as part of this intelligence briefing, supposedly for Putin.
Okay, let's try and pull this together then. It's a lot to digest.
It really is. So, summarizing the key threads from this report we've looked at, there's the alleged alien attack in Fort Worth, Texas, this whole mystery around Vimana technology and its connection to supposed secret U.S. Black Triangle aircraft.
Right, the reverse engineered craft.
Then the broader narrative of this approaching massive UFO armada linked to Comet Lenin, the weaving in of ancient prophecies from Nostradamus and others.
And tying it all to modern geopolitical tensions, especially in the Arctic.
Exactly. And finally, this stark contrast drawn between the alleged Russian response building expensive bunkers and what the report portrays as American indifference or ignorance. It constructs a very elaborate, interconnected argument for why these extraordinary claims demand attention.
And circling back to that core contrast, it's striking. On one hand, the report details this Russian preparation, citing the Bloomberg article about $400,000 bunkers. On the other, it delivers that sharp critique of perceived American apathy, the shift from forewarned is forearmed to who cares?
A very pointed comparison.
So it leaves you thinking, if knowledge really is power, like the old saying goes, and if the world is facing anything remotely like what this source describes, this grim situation with returning ancient gods, potential conflict, what does it actually mean? What's the difference between being forewarned, even with such unbelievable information, versus choosing, or perhaps just happening, to disregard it?
What impact could those different paths, active preparation versus apparent indifference, have on whatever future unfolds?
Yeah. It's definitely a provocative thought to end on, stemming directly from the claims within this very unusual report. Something for all of us to chew on.